Hey guys, it's RebelQueen. Okay, today there's going to be like 3 different reviews going on, but they're going to be all in different videos, so here I go. First off, as promised, here's the full review for Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom Prince Edition. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you guys on this one, because like I said in the so far, the pacing of that game kind of gets to you a little bit. Plus, kind of like in the first game, you kind of want to make sure your leveling up is good enough to take on bosses and monsters and stuff. Plus, kind of like I said before, I was going through and wanting to do like all the side quests. I still haven't like totally 100%ed the game, but I'm getting there. Because with where I'm at right now, I have totally expanded the kingdom, which means I have collected all 100 citizens needed in order to level up the kingdom to its level 4 status, maxed out the coffer stuff, and I've got all the buildings and stuff, and they're all maxed out, and pretty much, aside from one building, which I'm working on that one, because I think I know what I need to do in order to finish out all the research stuff on that one. All the buildings that have research stuff, all the research is done. So it's just like little things. That and also like, but it took me a while to figure this one out. But just so you guys are aware, if you have the Switch port and you're trying to figure out like how can I finish this off, especially for me, because it's like you need to go through these quests in order to be able to unlock this last one, in order to get this one person as a citizen. For the one DLC that leads to this labyrinth section, you actually kind of need to go through and beat that monster at the beginning of that labyrinth in order to kind of just advance it a little bit. And that'll clear up the stuff with Chingay, so that you can do the whole stuff with the bandits and all that. So that'll get the whole ball rolling with those quests, so that when everything keeps on going forward, you'll be able to then get the stuff unlocked for when you need to get the bandit leader as a citizen in Evermore. Just so you guys are aware, because that was kind of making me going like, where the F are these quests that are supposed to be coming up? So that I can get him as a citizen. So it's like, wait a minute, because of this DLC that is already included in the game, let me go check this out. And that did it. So I won, though, because of how things are with how they have like a little recommended level at the top, with where I would not recommend like totally going through it yet, because I'm only at like, my characters aren't totally maxed out yet, so I'm not even attempting to go through it all the way yet. But the monster that you'll face is only like level 30, so if you're like a pretty high level, you'll have no problem beating it. All in all, aside from that, just giving you guys a little heads up on that one. The game is fun. Like I said in the so far review, as opposed to Wrath of the White Witch, they have a more linear combat style, to where you're pretty much button mashing and all that, and you're not having to kind of go, oh, switch focus to this enemy in the middle of the fight. You just, with the button controls, you pretty much just like run up to the enemies you want to face. So that was an interesting little switch up. Obviously, they don't have the familiars. Instead, it's the kingmakers. And with our own little kingmaker, he takes the place of Lord of Tippy. I remember the fairy's name now. But yeah, we have Lofty instead this time, who he gives you health and mana, and then the gold balls, which instead of unleashing a, oh, you have a special move, pretty much like it gives you a, like it'll do like, basically it'll give you like a full mana gauge, where if like you hit this, it'll then give you access to like doing your whole mana attacks for a set amount of time. It's basically an awakening that'll allow you to do your whole mana attacks for like a set amount of time, which, depending on which monster or boss you're facing, that can come in a real good handy. And kind of like back in Wrath of the White Witch, where you get like some of the other characters for your party, you do get more characters that you can switch around with. But unlike in Wrath of the White Witch, where if you don't have them in your party, they're not going to get experience, here in Revenant Kingdom, even if they're not in your party, they're still going to get leveled up. So that way you don't have to worry about going like, ah, crud. It's like, I've been working with these guys, now if I want to make sure everybody's powered up, I gotta do this. Which, that's a good system. Oh, and then there's also, again, kind of like I mentioned in the so far, we have these little characters called Higglies. Honestly, kind of referencing back to Studio Ghibli, they kind of, I don't think they ever got proper names, but if you remember from Princess Mononoke, you remember the little characters you remember the little white character spirits that were just like go to from that movie? The Higglies kind of remind me of them a little bit, except except the Higglies come in like, 5 different colors, and because it's like there's plain white Higglies, there's red, which obviously fire, green wind, blue water, and then there's like yellow light. Oh, and purple dark. And then like for each of the little Higglies, they'll like have like little ornaments on them, like going Higgledy-dee, Higgledy, and that's literally what they say. And they'll like have like and if you go into like the little Higgly almanac in the library in your menu, and you look up the Higgly that you find throughout the game in these little Higgly stones, which you have to offer, like when you go to the stone, it'll go, "Hello, adventurer, give me what I want and I'll join you." And it gives you the description of the item, and if you have the item in your thing, whether from finding it in the overworld or after you create the kingdom, and you have like all the different fish markets, lumber yards, bazaars, etc. going, you'll get the item that way. And we'll give you like a description of the item, the Higgly ones, and you give it to the stone. If it's the correct item, the Higgly will go, "That's what I'm talking about." It'll pop out of the stone and go, "I'll join you." Well, these stones are like throughout the kingdom, and then once you actually create the Higgly, crap, I can't remember the name of the actual building in the kingdom, but you also can go there and create Higglies, which you also will need to do that for a few quests in the game, and also if you want to complete the Higgly Almanac, you're going to have to create a bunch of Higglies. which I'm also working on that. But the game was good, and it did kind of reference a few things from Wrath of the White Witch, like for defeating some of the tainted monsters, you'll get like some outfits for the characters to wear. Well, it's specific characters, honestly. Well, for defeating one of the tainted monsters, you get a wizard's outfit for Evan to wear. Obviously, that's Oliver's outfit from the first game. And obviously, after I did get the outfit, I did put Evan in it, and I have to say he did look adorable. But I was like, I had like another outfit that I actually prefer him in, so I put him back in that one. But it did look nice on him. And Tani, one of the characters that you give her companion earlier in the game, she gets a Harper's outfit. I think you get the idea of, like, I think you understand which character that is from the first game. And her dad Batu got a shipper's gets a shipper's outfit, which if you remember, well, basically from the Capstan Hill and then from the first game, you know, that's basically that little shipping cove stuff. But I was like, nope. It's like, I understand that they had to come up with like certain designs and all that, but it's like, I was kind of like, yeah, no. But it's been fun. And the storyline did kind of remind me a bit of the first game, where it's kind of like was oh, I have to do this in order to try and fix this kind of situation. But still, again, sometimes when you have a winning formula, you don't change it up too much. But kind of like I said, with how I noticed that there weren't that many actual cinematic voiceover parts with when I was talking with Albion. Apparently, Studio Ghibli wasn't involved too much in this game. Apparently, that I guess I can understand why they didn't change up too much, but. And also there were a lot of another Wrath of the White Witch Easter eggs, because apparently when you're doing some of the when you go back to Ding Dong Dell later on in the game, you're going through some areas and you do see a certain Meowjesty, or at least a statue, because if you remember from the first game, he had to do that whole lantern thing. So you see the statue and you have that whole little lantern thing going on. So you see that statue from that part in the Ding Dong Well area, because you have to go through that area, which that was pretty fun, and a nice little way that they kind of kept that they were able to reuse that whole area. And like I said, they have the whole Kingmaker stuff, which you can apparently go back and refight the Kingmakers. They start off at level 50, and each time you refight them, they go up 5 levels, which you only get to do this after you learn after you have Evermore Spellworks up, and you learn and you have them do the spell research retrial. which honestly I think that's a good idea. And then you go to like each of the different locations and you find like for Longfang it's this cradle of fire, which then of course if you remember with Bastion over at Broadleaf, when you get over there it's that cradle of wisdom where you made the pact. And then Brian Skimmer, it's like way down there at the end. And then you do have to kind of go a little bit out of Ding Dong Well to find the cradle for Oakenheart. But yeah, that's actually kind of a good way for you to be able to go refight them and then get experience, start building up your experience and levels. But fun game, and I had fun with it. Like I said, and I'm still trying to finish off some of the stuff, especially the DLCs I got added in with this edition of the game. That when you were playing it on the PlayStation originally, you had to actually pay money to get them. So, I had fun with it. Like I said, I'm still trying to finish off stuff, but honestly, I kind of think, well, like with what happened with Wrath of the White Witch, this might end up being a 99%er, because apparently there's this one quest that you have to have a specific item for, and if you sold the item earlier in the game and then you completed all this stuff in the kingdom to increase your drop rates, and you're kind of screwed over unless you meet up with this one guy in one of the Dreamer gates to buy the item, then yeah, you're kind of screwed. So hopefully, fingers crossed. But we'll just have to wait and see. Because him showing up in the Dreamer stuff is kind of a rare thing. But again, I had fun with the game. If you enjoyed the first one, I think you'll enjoy this one. But like I said, the pacing of it is kind of, with the whole chapter stuff, it can be a little weird for you. Especially like on some of the chapters, once you start going on, you can't stop, you have to continue forward. So like if you want to stop and complete some side quests or something, you can't. So you have to watch that. Like, yeah, so like if you want to complete some side quests or level up your characters, you can't. So you have to watch that. Obviously, since you guys know I'm a fan of Studio Ghibli and I did like the first game so much, I have to be careful with the rating I give this. Oh, one thing I want to point out is, I don't know, maybe it was just something going on with my Switch or not. I did notice, like, sometimes when I was running through, like, certain areas, it would seem like the frame rate would kind of slow down, and it would kind of then speed and then catch back up. I don't know if maybe something going on with my Switch, or maybe it was the game itself. So, there's that. So, I had to kind of take a little points off there, because, like I said, I don't know if it's my Switch, the game itself, or what. Or maybe something, so I'd say 8.5-ish. Because like I said, I don't know if that little thing there was because of my game or what. But other than that, I'd say really solid game. And you're gonna have fun with it. Just like I said, just make sure you keep up with that stuff. And like I said, I'm not trying to spoil anything more for you guys, but if you do have the Switch port for it, since it does come up with all the DLC after you get that one thing for the DLC with the labyrinth, if your characters are at least around level 30ish or up, at least go up to where the stuff is at. Take care of that monster there. That way you're able to continue on with the quests that'll come up with, like, the bandits and all that. Otherwise, you're going to be going like, where the heck are these quests? Because that came up for me, and I was kind of going like, what the hell? And it took me forever to kind of go, oh, wait a minute. He's supposed to be the one giving me the quests for that. And because of the DLC, or what was the DLC with the labyrinth, he's stuck. He's kind of stuck right there. Let me go see maybe if I advance it a little bit, he'll go back to normal. And then it worked. Other than that, everything's good. I would normally give you guys some other little tidbits, but I'll save that for the final video for today. So, bye!